学派，我是英，
我是 T 哥。
我们今天随机抓了一位同学来跟我们分享，就是随机聊天，我们就随便聊，看我们会聊什么，然后那就希望你会喜欢，那我们就正式开始咯。So welcome, crunchest, to our podcast.
Welcome.
Very warm welcome. And could you give us like a brief introduction to yourself?
Hi, I'm crunchest. I'm in my 5th semester of UOL's online computer science bachelor's.
Great. So basically, crunchest has been the same amount as me. I'm also been in 2 years. And just for crunchest information, Mr. T, the other person here, he is in his 6th semester, so one semester ahead of us. Yeah. And okay, so I guess let's just start with a random question that we always ask people and see whatever topics what we want to talk about later on. So how 2 years, 2.5 years ago maybe, like how did you first find out about this degree?
Okay, so it was Corona. Everything was closed. So I was looking specifically for something remote, and this kind of popped up on Coursera, and it was online. I didn't have to go anywhere, so it was a really good option for me at the time.
So what did you you find it and then you immediately think, oh, that this is great. You don't even have doubts or something. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about it too deeply. I was like, okay, I'll apply and then we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay. And so you apply and then did you you just say it just goes smoothly and no obstacles or what? Like, do you have any obstacles that you encountered during that period?
I didn't know. I see a lot of PPA students having problems with getting their classes and stuff, but I didn't have any issues.
Well, okay, that's fortunate. That's nice. Yes. And so after you got in, and what's your first impression about the degree, or in your first term or something? Do you have thoughts before you join, and did it change or after you actually got in, but very new, when you're still very new?
So at first I was only thinking about the convenience of an online degree, but it's a lot lonelier than I expected. It's very isolated. I mean, I went to in-person uni, so it was just a very different experience. It wasn't what I was expecting at all.
But what keeps you staying? You've been here for this long. What keeps you here?
Well, I've gotten this far. I might as well just get the degree now. But I'm actually interested in the subject, and it's just very accessible. Where I live now, I don't have too many options with universities. It's a good way for me to get the knowledge and prove that I have it with the degree at the end. It's cheaper and it's just a lot more convenient. The convenience really keeps me.
Okay. Is it even cheaper for local universities, or is it cheaper just for going abroad?
It's only cheaper for local universities. Like my in-person uni was abroad. It was in America, and it was a lot more. But
okay, yeah, so that's more convenient too. And what's your favorite thing about that you're here for 2 years? What's your favorite either feature or the thing that you experienced so far?
Okay, I really like that there aren't set class times, so you can choose when to study. I like the pre-recorded lectures. It's difficult that you can't ask questions or talk to the professors or have any kind of relationship with them. But the Slack community is very open, and people ask questions and you get lots of answers. And even the GDSC community is really welcoming. It's a really good group of people.
Glad to hear that.
I really appreciate the flexibility because for someone like me, I have a lot of hobbies that I spend a lot of time on. So I like being able to organize my day the way I want to rather than having to go to specific classes. So I play classical piano.
Ooh.
So I occasionally have performances and stuff, but they give me very short notice. So I'll have to spend a lot of time practicing for a week leading up to a performance. And I'm also I've been exhibiting my paintings and stuff in galleries since I was a kid. So I like to have an art show at least once a year. And with the rigid kind of schedule of normal university, it's a little bit difficult to spend lots of time painting or planning a show. So I really like the free time.
Very diverse. Yeah. You're studying computer science and you're doing artistic on the side. That's pretty impressive. Yeah.
I also like I don't want the constraints of in-person universities, which is the same reason I didn't want the constraints of like the 9 to 5 kind of job. So I'll work like consultant data analysis, and I use this degree to kind of help me find work, so I can kind of choose my hours and pick what I want to do each day. It's really helpful to me.
So you would say like having flexibility in your life is like very like a high priority for you.
Yes,
is that
exactly.
True. Same for me. That's one of the biggest reasons I chose. Like I feel like flexibility is most people's favorite feature in this degree, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
So they're like, they have they just have different reasons they work. They have different stuff. I feel like so I personally feel like having flexibility in life is not a lot of people's main like priority. That's my feeling for me personally. They're like more like, oh, they have other higher priorities. That's why they need the flexibility. So it's like, because I'm like super extra flexible and my sleep schedule is also very flexible, so if you know that, so I was like, I really need that flexibility, and that kind of helps me, or like that encourages me to choose what I want. I feel like that's something I get from this kind of schedule.
I kind of heard like people saying musician or artist, they do have talent for like programming or engineering. So that's what I've been hearing. Even in my work, we have a team is trying to like group out a orchestra for that, because the manager is trying to find out like who can play this and who can play pianos or other instruments,
Oh my
and
gosh.
trying
Like
to
from the
to make a
engineers?
band.
Oh
Yes,
my
yes,
god.
That's so
we
cool.
all engineers. Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah. I feel like
So-
I recall something like, it's very Asian for thinking you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, whatever. But you also have to know how to play like 2 more instruments. Like that's like typical, right?
oh
And
my goodness.
and I think I heard like something like they're doctors, but an orchestra of doctors.
Mm.
They're
From
literally,
Orchestra
I was
of
like,
doctors.
yes,
I can already
they're
see my
like,
mom comparing me to them.
oh my god, yeah. So I was like, what does that mean? Like, well, how do you do that? You're already doctors, but you still have to practice how many hours to fulfill. What I was like, that's just crazy. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, oh my god, that's Asian on another level. Yeah. Oh, that's great. And I would say, like, do you think like crunches? Do you think there's anything related for your the drawing, painting, and the music side, the art side, and on the like? Have you ever considered like combining the two of your like skills, or do you find anything that's similar in terms of, I don't know, like how you use your brain? I imagine. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, there's like a weird amount of similarities. Because,
Ooh.
the whole like solving a puzzle aspect of computer science, I can sort of get that like sometimes if I'm trying to figure out how to like, plan a painting or something, or like the discipline you need when you study programming to the kind of like discipline you need when you train for piano. And yeah, actually combining them is really cool. It's a really like nice concept. I've been looking into electroconductive paint. So, you could hook that up to like a Raspberry Pi or something, and you can have like interactive paintings, because it's a very one-sided concept, right? You view
Interactive
in art,
painting.
yeah, and it doesn't do anything back. But when you can interact with it and the painting
Yeah.
talks back, like that's a whole different experience.
Yeah, like Mona Lisa talks back to you or something.
Exactly.
Are you gonna specialize in IoT or later
Okay,
on?
I know people say the specialisms are kind of useless, but I went
Yeah.
for
It is.
it is, yeah. I figured like, okay, I put machine learning and artificial intelligence from the beginning, and I'm just not going to remove it because I can leave it out of my resume, right? Like it's still a
Right.
computer science degree. I don't have to tell
Mhm.
anyone.
Correct.
But if
Correct.
I need it, it'll be like, it might look better.
I see.
Okay, so it's ML and AI. Yeah. I like our uh program director. Well, what's that? Program director. And quite a few instructor. They're all musicians and engineers or slash researchers, the doctors, right? So like it was like, yeah. So it's like they. That's why like kind of like inspire. Well, not inspire. Like let me think about the stuff like they said, we had quite a few projects in a degree that's quite creative, and sometimes you can either creative on the visual side or the musical side. Have you like I think because crunchest, you're currently in like the last year, right? So like
Yes,
the level
yeah.
6, yeah, so you've been all the like level 4s and level 5s, and have you incorporate any of your other side to your project or assignments at school?
I have not actually,
Okay.
because
Okay.
the grading system is really specific, and I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want to mess that
Yeah,
up,
I
because you
think
don't get a lot of feedback. So I'm being very
yeah.
careful about this.
Do you feel like you can edit your creativity on top of the rubric usually, or you pretty much
Do you
just
feel like
stick?
it's constraining you to do the creative side?
It's I guess in a way, but I also treat it like, an assignment where you kind of just, you follow the rules to the letter to
Mm.
get like the highest grade, and that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
occasionally I'll build on it later to make something for
Mhm.
myself, but
Mm-hmm.
no, for school I will be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
see.
That's good. I think I recall one of our modules. I think we have like graphics programming. We have like
Mhm.
whatever, like the visual. You can have sounds. It's called what, piano or something. But it literally, I don't know what that does not have anything to do with piano. But um, it's just keys, and you interact. Like you have your camera open and you can interact. It depends on what you touched or whatever your hands are waving, and it will play some sounds. I think that's the one I can recall currently.
Yeah, that
That.
was really cool.
Did you like do any like extra stuff with that, or did you just go with the usual ones? Because graphics programming, I think you can actually do a lot. Like you can, because the base case, base case, whatever, the base, the base thing. It's very mathematical. It's very easy. Well, not easy, like relatively easy to fulfill. And the creative side, they didn't really constrain you much. Like you can do a lot more, even if you are like following the rubric. That's the only one. That's a module I can think of right now that actually really allows creativity, I
Yeah,
think.
I agree. And
Mm-hmm.
also the language they chose, like P5JS is a very like accessible language, and it was like I think
Mm-hmm.
specifically designed for stuff like creative coding.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And like there's so many things. Oh, I'm not really like a creative person. So it's kind of a struggle for me to think of all the stuff. But yeah, I was like I was okay, you're like, you create stuff basically on your daily basis, music and arts, it's all basically creating. And it kind of like for me it activates a different part of the brain. So I was like, okay, maybe our program director, they also do music, they play in bands, and I don't know if he writes music, but yeah, I feel like it's pretty interesting. They're like literally have a doctoral in like this
Yeah,
technical field, but it also plays music like pretty professional. I was like, how does that happen? Right, like
it's
how
so
how
cool.
yeah, it's amazing. And that's why like we have so many instructors that are like kind of like this interesting combination. That's why, or maybe they designed this whole curriculum, right? So that's why our degree is like creative focused, very
Mm.
creative focused. And I think in terms of curriculum, that's like the special, well, the standout point from our degree. Like we're studying computer science, but it's not the standard like studying. I think I heard people like, oh, why are they not teaching like whatever operating system stuff, and like a lot of more, I
The
guess,
more
more hardware.
technical.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like they were like, why are they teaching? And people, I heard so many hate comments on P5JS. They're like, why are they teaching P5JS? Literally, it was like because we're going for creative, right? So and it's like, yeah, but I get it. I don't hate it. I get it in some way. Like they think they came in, they think it's like a standard. What does that mean by standard? That's another question. But they think it's like their standard of a computer science degree, but it's actually specialized.
What what if the curriculum asks you to study those things like the systems, the OS? Would that change your mind? Like stick to this degree?
I No, that wouldn't
Crunches.
change my mind
Crunches.
at all. I kind of expected that, I expected a little bit
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more of
like hardcore
yeah, exactly, the fundamental kind of like hardcore. I expected more math also, so I'm taking some like extra math courses on the side because I didn't really
like, would you say you're disappointed like they didn't actually
like okay, a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Honest, yes, we want honest. Yeah, I guess it's just, people are from different backgrounds. We expect different things. It's not possible to fulfill everyone's expectations.
Yeah.
That's just the truth there. And that's the same for, that's just a UK type of education, or not just UK. We can scale it down to just this academic provider, right? So they want to provide it in this way, and that's their option, that's their choice, and we come here to choose that, and yeah, that's our decision. So I don't know, like I feel like I'm not disappointed. For me, I was like, just, I don't know what to expect, so I'm not expecting anything. So you when you don't expect anything, you wouldn't be disappointed, right? That's how it works. So yeah, that's kind of the thing for me, because Mr. T have asked me, but like because we talked about this before, I was like, I'm complaining the point that people are complaining about this degree. I was like, I see no point of people complaining. If you can understand what I mean. Yeah, I was like, the double complaining. But yeah, anyway, so that's something. Yeah, something I kind of find more, I'd say more recently. It's not like super recently, but it's definitely not something I noticed during my first year here. Yeah. I was just going to ask, have you noticed anything that you didn't notice when you first started, the first term or the first year, but you later on start to realize something, or you just found out about something about degree or something, anything?
Such a vague question.
Yeah, that's a vague question. I was like, that's because I was like, okay, I thought about this, and then let's try whatever. If you don't have anything, we can just figure out another question.
Okay. Okay, so I like already came from like kind of a technical background. Like I'd studied computational physics. So like I had some sort of background in programming, but it was stuff like R, like statistical programming. It wasn't, so I wasn't familiar at all with the kind of coding that we started with in our first year. So it was a really big like learning curve, and I wasn't focused too much on anything else. I was like, okay, let me learn what's going on here, and then I'll figure stuff out later. But as I got more, comfortable with programming, I started looking at the degree a little bit more like critically, and I was like, okay, what can I do with this degree, and why isn't it more technical? But it's a good opportunity. I like the flexibility. Again, I'm a big fan of the degree still, so that's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
How about your second year? Do you feel like the second year is getting more in depth? It's more advanced.
It was definitely a lot more work than the first year, but there's a really big discrepancy between classes. For example, graphics programming was pretty lightweight, and object oriented programming was the first time a lot of people have seen C++, and he kind of just dumped us into a really big project.
Yeah, true.
So I spent a lot of time on that, but it was very helpful. I learned a lot personally.
How'd you do in the C++?
I did really really good, actually. I got 100.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Nice.
But it took a weirdly long time. It was not enjoyable at the time.
Do you think the time is worth it? Like after you've gone in, like,
it's honestly, yeah, because I felt a lot more confident after spending such an insane amount of time on like one project. I didn't really like the second one though, the juice framework one. Have you
I hate that.
done
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay.
I hate that. Yeah.
Because like normal C++ makes sense because you can apply that knowledge everywhere else. And I understand, learning, different kind of like frameworks and whatever, but juice is just so out there. Like most of us will probably never encounter it again in our lives. So
I think the second project teach you how to
search the API,
like, study the API, or do your own research on API documentations. I think that's the key they want you to learn from. So
it's not just about like, okay, you're learning this and then you will learn it, or it will be useful elsewhere. No, it's just like learning the process of how to learn, basically.
I personally think it's still useful, because after that module I pretty much can utilize like how you can adopt APIs, things like that. So I think it's helpful.
How long is it since you taken OP?
Oh, it's a year ago.
Only a year? I thought
I
it's
think a
more.
year and a half ago.
Oh, okay, wow.
I took it around
2021
2021
April.
September. September, I think.
September is the deadline. October.
I mean the Octobers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to figure out like how long has it been that you still think it's helpful, right? So it's been
I'm still thinking it's helpful. Do you think you will be like incorporate your artistic talent into like programming later on?
For jobs or for coursework?
For
anything. Because I think she said like, coursework just following the rubrics, right?
Yeah, I'm very very strict about like following rubrics. Yeah, but for like a general kind of life, no, I'm a big fan of. Part of the reason I got interested in stuff like programming and physics and whatever is because of their applications in art.
Right.
Yeah. So for like that aspect, I definitely like to mix them.
I see.
What kind of direction would you be interested in finding a job in, like, after getting a degree?
That's a really good question. So currently, I mean, I do like data analysis. It's pretty dry, but but it's something. I wouldn't mind a lot of things. I mean, something like a software engineer would be okay. I mean, I'm not super picky. I like programming. It's just an enjoyable time.
Nice. Like, is there anything I was like, because you probably, likely, not sure, have more exposure to the two sides. So is there any like actual, like, currently existing working roles in the industry or whatever that's, you can actually combine the two sides of you to do? Or is it you probably have to create yourself or something?
I think there's stuff like if you go into like computer vision and stuff like that, like you can work in like
yes,
like film or whatever, and there's graphics rendering and all that. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like I'd like to go to grad school after, so
okay.
That's the next step. But
what would you like to focus on? Like, you're going to a master's degree, like master would be more focused on like a specific topic, right? So
yeah,
you're going to do machine learning or data science or
okay, I find MLAI a lot more interesting than data science.
Okay.
So I'd like to go in there, or perhaps robotics, because I like have all this like latent physics knowledge that I don't really use. So
yeah, try to use it somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, or perhaps just a physics master's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So physics and combining. Okay. Well, so let's say if you got like a physics master, and what would you be like? Your priority in terms of finding a job with whatever paper you have, like more in physics or combined. Oh, I'm just curious. Like, I have no idea.
Okay, so like I really like physics, but I'll be honest, all the money is in computer science, and the kind of job opportunities are way more. So I enrolled in this degree at the same time as when I was in uni. So
okay.
But it was still like the first year, so it was pretty easy. It wasn't that big of a problem.
I know other people do that as well. Yeah,
exactly. So so I would prefer like a more computer science focused job, but I also like genuinely enjoy like math and physics and kind of the problem solving aspect of that. So yes, I don't have a concrete answer for you yet. I'm sorry, but
no worries.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Who knows what you're going to be in 2 years, right? Like, who knows? Yeah. cool. Well, I personally hate physics. Sorry for that. I personally hate physics. I was like, I don't know I just can't find the appeal to it. Like, I like math, but any other subject. Okay, there are a lot of subjects when we were still at school, at high school, whatever. And basically there are 10 subjects for us. And the only 2 subjects that I like is math and English. That's it. That's it. That's pretty extreme, but it suits me. I'm using English every day now, and math it leads me into computer science. Yeah, so when I was first choosing like whatever things that I'm going to study in the college universities, like I don't want to study, like I told them I like math, and then people like the people at the booth, they're like suggesting you which way you can go, and they're like, oh, accounting. I was like, what? No, like actually no. It's just a huge
statistics.
No. Yeah, and my mom actually studies accounting, and like she knows. I was like, no, I'm not going that way. And also like I like math, but not the teaching. Like I don't want to be a teacher. So I feel like studying math, either you become like a researcher, whatever, very very technical in terms of math, or you become a teacher. Or teacher, professor, whatever. So I was like, that's not what I want to do. So I don't have that much passion for math. I'm not excellent in math. I just enjoys math to like a reasonable amount. Maybe unreasonable for Mr. T, but like just unreasonable. Like, okay, he doesn't like math. You can say like
I don't like math.
Yeah.
But I know how frustrated when you were working on the like very first couple of project in the graphic programming. It's all about velocities,
the graphics, the physics. Yes. Oh my god. Me and Mr. T, we took graphics programming last term together. And so we gone through that together. We're like, I don't like physics. I was like, the space, calculating. I was like, okay, the math is easy. Yeah.
I was like, just plug in the formula. That's it. What's difficult about it?
Yeah, I was like, looking at it, if you don't look deeply into it, don't look too deeply into it, you're just like, oh my god, that's so difficult. Physics over there, but it's fine. It's like using Pi, it's fine. But yeah, just the outset kind of scares me. Like, no, please no. Yeah.
Have you taken graphics programming yet, crunchest?
I have, yeah. I finished it last
level
semester.
6, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what? I think. Yeah, you're also taking ASP right now, right?
I am. Yeah, it's not.
Okay, the 3 of us are also all taking ASP. Oh, okay. Wow. Some common topics here. Yeah. Have you got to meet your team yet? Like, talk to them?
I have. There was 5 of us on the
the Slack,
thing,
yeah.
but only 2 other people like spoke in the Slack chat. So we had our first call, and I think it's just us 3 working on the project.
Okay. Nice. 3. I think 3 is a great number. Yeah. And how's the 3 like time zone the division? The actual
one of them is in Germany, so
okay,
it's not. It's GMT plus 1. I'm plus 4, and then the third one is he's in Hong Kong. I think that's GMT plus 8.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not too bad. Like, we can find times where it works out. It's not so bad. What about for you guys?
Yeah. T, do you want to say?
We got people all over the world.
Oh no.
No, you guys are better. You guys are. No,
I still think it sucks.
Okay. Okay, tell us how it sucks.
Well, one of them didn't show up, so basically just 4 of us. We kind of picked like Friday morning, because I'm in California time. I think that's how they want me to pick the time. So basically, I had to get up very early.
And a working day as well. I was like, oh my god, that's so terrible.
And go straight to my work after that.
Yeah.
it is what it is, right? Just at least I think four of us all have engineering background,
Yeah,
so I think that's a plus. Uh, I, I guess it's fine for us. How
yeah.
about you guys?
Well, for me, the time zone. Well, one we had just had our call like a few hours ago. Had our
Mm-hmm.
first call, and one person didn't show up like at all throughout whatever all the discussions we've gone through, and yeah, the time. So the one that didn't show up is actually GMT plus one. So
Be
it's
careful, people will disappear.
yes. Well, people will not only disappear, they will reappear. That's
No, they won't reappear.
no, they will show up. Oh, can I get my grade and whatever.
Like
That's
gradually disappearing. Okay.
anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I'm actually glad that the one that didn't appear is. Oh, sorry. I think I hit the microphone. The one that didn't appear is the one that is like the middle one. So I'm GMT plus 8 and the plus one, and the other three are like minus 5, 6, or 7.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, the whole combination is terrible. That's why it's like it's terrible. Yeah, and so if it's just the four of us, the time that we spoke is like 6:30 a.m. for me, which is fine for me if you know my schedule. It's also like weekend, so I can actually speak before 8 a.m. And for them, it's like after work or afternoon on Friday. Yeah,
You guys
so
don't talk about like weekend options.
they propose this themselves. Like, okay, we literally have there's this website called When to Meet, and the two is like number 2, and we just like open the Friday, Saturday, Sunday spots, and based on the UK time, whatever, and then people can drag their availability so we can see what's the most common available time, and that's the exact time people choose to be available.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like we choose the time. No, they
You
said it
guys
themselves. Yeah.
precisely calculated who's
No,
available.
no, we didn't calculate. We just like you fill out your available time, and I was surprised. Like throughout the whole like 72 hours, we have this 1.5 hour that's common available. Like we don't even have to negotiate. No negotiation. We just straight up having this. I was like, oh, that's amazing. I was super surprised. But yeah, and yeah, I would say the other. I know two of the people that worked like over a decade, and more like
Decade.
they're yeah, like one is 10 years, one is like 16 years
Oh, wow.
in the like IT, like quote unquote IT industry. But they're not like just simply software engineer. There's a lot of different titles. Things like game development and making games and all that. And so yeah, so well, and but the good thing is they're pretty open-minded to accepting like tools to use or whatever things that ideas for the projects, because for me, I'm more afraid of meeting people that they're like, I have the most experience, just listen to me or whatever that like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Bossy.
that bossy, yes, exactly, bossy type of teammates. So I guess that yeah, fortunately we currently so far we don't have that, and we'll see how it will go. Yeah, like someone's proposing like something like a game. But they're also, even though they do games, they're not like, oh, we have to do a game. I love this, and like no, they're super chill. I was like, oh, I'm so grateful for meeting those people, and yeah, we'll see. I would say it's better than I expected before we had a call. I was having so many bad thoughts about like I'm always expecting the worst.
The drama is not yet coming. Okay.
The drama. Well, who knows? It's just the first week, the drama could
You
come.
start hearing people saying, "I'm sick. I got
Yeah.
accident. I have family issues."
Yeah. I remember like I told Crunches like a few days. We were just chatting on another platform, and we're like I met like the other teamwork group. Like
Mhm.
I was asking, there like I think three people there, and I asked you guys like I asked those people that two options. Which one do you think is worse? The first option is like someone didn't appear at all, throughout the whole process. And they they appear once like 2 weeks approximately, and then they hop in the channel and they're like, oh, what can I do and what can I help with, and it kind of seems like they want to participate, they want a grade, but they never do anything, so they just keep popping in.
That's one of the dramas.
yeah. So like they keep hopping in, and then but they never do anything that we requested them to do. And the other thing is like, oh, this person is always there. It's been through the whole process, but throughout, so the before, like 10 days before the deadline, or like 2 weeks before the deadline, they disappear for like 10 days straight. Like they just disappear. Like which one? And then they take away like they didn't submit their their materials on like online or whatever. Like didn't share it. And which one do you think is worse? Yeah, T, which one do you think is worse in this case?
I think they both are.
Yeah, and I was like, the reason I'm expecting it worse, right? So, yeah.
But I think for most group work, just I have a mindset like whoever wants to work, then go ahead, and whoever doesn't, just leave. That kind of mindset.
What about they hop in and hop out? Like they just like.
Then I'll just report. I just report whatever they have.
Yeah, like, well, it's very annoying. Like they sounds like
it
they
is
want to
annoying,
join.
but
yeah.
we can only take care of our own progress, right?
Yeah. Like people were like, "Oh, you didn't let me in." I was like, "What the hell?" Like
the channel is there. What are they talking about? It's open. It's not like we can block them or anything.
That's literally what happened to us. That's anyway. That's just like the two cases I just said that happens. So I was like, that's why I'm expecting the worst to happen. And the only good thing I would say in that team is like I would say we didn't really have like fights, because like we don't have like personality issues, because we just kind of fit. We don't really just like fight or whatever, but and also our age is really really similar. Like everyone's just like 20, 21, or 22. That's it. It's surprisingly similar. I was like, I have no idea how that works. Like okay, I was like, okay, school, you guys, you can group people. Did you guys do it on purpose? Like, do you group us by our age? Like, you're supposed to group by time zone. What the hell you're doing, right? Like, please group by time zone. Don't group by whatever. I was like, yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of this time, like for the grouping, I was like, oh my god, the time zone. I the first time basically that kind of I hated school a bit. Like, how can you do this to me? Like, you promised. Like, it's literally in all the webinars they're saying like, yeah, we do try to group you in time zone. That's a lie.
Bro, they're just lying.
Yeah.
They've tried.
Yeah, quote unquote try. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, I would say that's the first time ever I was kind of like complaining or like disappointed. Like I'm really chill about the school. Like, okay, the grades, you take 3 months, 4 months. Okay, that's just wait, right? I just wait. It doesn't matter. I can wait. But this time it's like, we have to sacrifice the time, and the time is not just for like a month or two, like for midterms last time. It's literally like entire term. So it's quite long. If someone like, for example, Mr. T, he has to wake up very early for almost every single week throughout the term to have meetings and all that, right? So I was like, yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible for me. That's the conclusion I have here. Yeah.
How about coaches? How's your team?
It's only 3 of us, so it's not too bad. Like, we don't have to coordinate with that many people. And one of the guys is like a software developer, so
nice.
Okay.
That's very helpful.
Be careful, he will disappear.
I'm actually scared, bro. He better not. I can't do this by myself. Bro, I'm gonna find him. Like, I will go to his country.
Oh my god!
There's no way. You cannot escape.
Drag him out of his hole. Like yeah. Oh my god. Oh wow. Yeah. What about
the next meeting is start asking everybody's home address.
Home address, yeah.
Guys, where do you live?
Oh my god. Yeah. Having 3. Okay, now I think about it. Having 3 is quite scary, because if someone disappear and then it's 2. I don't think you can do substantially well, like for 2 people. Yeah, 3 people.
Do you guys think? I think this the seminar was saying like it's okay to not finish the project.
Yes.
So I think they are looking for like how you guys progress
The report. The
to
report is the main thing.
accomplish something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also they also said that if you manage, well, if you like by chance that your team is just trash and whatever reason that you don't
It's
have
fine.
a team, they will not compare a 1-person work to like a 4-person or 5-person team's work.
Right.
Yes,
that's so nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're 25%, but it's saying like you try. Again, I would say teamwork is a must for even if you go in the industry you work. It's still teamwork a lot of times. So it's like I heard so many people saying like they they haven't even got their teams yet. Yeah, they're just like, I want to do it myself.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
okay.
Yeah, they're like pretty.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's not a good.
I think it's a terrible attitude. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you haven't even tried. Your team might be good, right? And it's like it's not just academics, or they're just thinking about getting a project done. That's not the thing you want to learn here. That's teamwork. That's actually the thing. The whole process and reporting, writing the report. Because yeah, I think the thing that I afraid most is people thinking that this is just a module of writing like a full stack application, but it's actually not. So yeah, I was like, yeah, trying to like the call we had, I was trying to ask them. So when we had our second call, you all should have at least watched one of the webinars from our like the module leaders. So like explaining what the module is about, like the deliverables and such. So I'm making sure that they actually know, and not to, because we have to brainstorm of a topic to like a proposal to do. Yeah, so that's fortunately they're very open-minded to stuff. Yeah, I was like, sometimes people are, because I'm usually in the past other, not just the degree, like usually in previous working environment, I'm always just the youngest, like always the youngest. So I know some people
the oldest.
I know, like, some people don't like to work with younger people. I was like, whatever. Yeah, so it's fortunate. Yeah, are you always oldest?
I think so, but I pretend.
You pretend you're like,
I pretend I'm around the same age.
How do you pretend that? Like, you're like, oh, I just graduated high school like 5 years ago.
No.
How can you pretend that? Like, speak young? I don't know. How do you... Oh my god. Yeah. That's... I don't know their age yet, but 2 of them just exposed that they've worked, 10 years to 16 years in like the same industry. I was like, okay, you must be at least, whatever age, right? So that's like, that's just assumptions. Yeah. I think, yeah, in the degree, one of the things online, you don't have things to go off of. If someone says something, that's you will have to trust that, or else you don't trust anything, right? You cannot even trust anything.
Yeah, but everyone could just be lying. How would we know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, I just reminded, like, one time I was answering someone's question on Discord, and then they're like, how can I trust you? I was like, what? I was like, I don't... The question is literally something I don't like. It's useless. It doesn't make sense to prove it that I'm right. I have no way to prove that. I was like, what the hell? And that's just a ridiculous question. I was like, okay, if you're asking this, then every single thing you saw on the internet is a lie. Is that a lie to you? Like, right? No idea what that person's thinking. But yeah, at the same, yeah, if someone says that they're somewhat whatever age, right? Unless you have the chance to actually meet them and start their ID, you cannot confirm that. And I was like, yeah. So I think, okay, one thing I remember from before,
you can respond, say like, "Wake up, you are hallucinating."
Yeah, you're just,
because everything is lie.
yeah, or everything is like, oh, there's, okay, I know this movie. What's that? There's a movie that someone's whole life is actually filmed Do you guys know that movie?
Oh,
The Truman Show?
The
Yeah,
Truman
yes,
Show.
the Truman Show. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I know movie because it's literally broadcast in like one of our like I think middle school when we were in middle school they literally like ask us to watch that in class. So I have to watch it because I usually don't watch movies and stuff. Yeah, like, that's why I know this. Yeah, so yeah, that's literally like everything's a lie, right? That's kind of the idea, like everything's a lie. Yeah, one thing I was reminded like before I entered the degree or like just when I entered the degree, someone again on Discord, they comment that in like such an online world, like your reputation is very important because it can be easily ruined because you have no way to prove it, right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's like, yeah, that's very true. And that person, I was like, I actually very admire that person because I've seen so many respond that person give to other people that's super high EQ, like super super high, and that person's the same age as me. I was like, how like oh my god, that's amazing. I was trying to learn from that person, just responding. Yes, like someone like being rude, right? And then how do they respond and whatnot. And yeah, I remember this answer like very very clearly that it's very true. So I kind of like take their words so to make sure that whatever that respond, and especially on Slack, because we can't delete our messages. I think that's a great feature. They disable us to delete a message. I don't know what about you guys. Do you think that's like terrible idea to disable that? Deleting the messages.
I spell stuff wrong a lot.
Mhm.
So I'm not the biggest fan.
No, you can edit. You can edit within an hour.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
You can
let's
edit
go.
within an hour, but you cannot delete it. Yeah, so you have to take responsibility.
Like a lot of people edited it back to like one single dot.
Yeah. That works, but that means that you've been there. You have to prove that you've been there.
So there's no trace.
Well, I mean, like it's the comparison. Just like if you delete it, it's like extra no trace. Like it doesn't exist. It doesn't like on Discord, right? You can all just delete the message, and I think well, of course there are downsides, there are benefits, but for me it's more of a plus point that you will have to be more careful when you say something because it's so easy to just say something and type it and then that's it, right? Just put it out. But you don't have to take responsibility for the things that you say. So that's at least a thing I still think is a great thing. I think it's the great thing when I first entered a degree, and I still think it's a great thing. Yeah, so thank you, crunchest, for joining our chat, for our call, whatever you call it. I hope you had a great time here. It's definitely a pleasure to have you to chat with us and to get to know more about you, and hope the audiences enjoy to listen as well. And yeah, so thank you for joining. And if we have future opportunities, we would definitely welcome you to come back. Okay, so bye.